Greetings Internet and welcome to Aaron Place, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is going to be a fairly short video, I assume, because I'm doing an unboxing of a game I received for my birthday about 10 days ago and haven't had a chance to even open it yet. I know what the game's about because obviously that's what I actually made a request for the birthday and actually people listened. So I've been playing a bit of Undaunted Normandy with my brother and thoroughly enjoying it, so I decided I wanted to go all in and get the big boy. So this is an unboxing, which you've seen by the thumbnail, about Undaunted Stalingrad. So there are many videos out there about this game. This is my take on it. So I'm going to unbox it, and as I unbox it, sort of compare it to Normandy and what was in that box. So there's my hand. I've been using a lot of computers, so it's actually on my phone, so it's unusual. So let's go down and have a look what's on the box, in the box. Let's open the box. First of all, compare the size of the boxes. So this is Normandy. Yep, decent size game. Not too, you can see by my hands, compared to most sort of war games. It's about standard. It's a little bit less on this side, but anyway, that's the standard box. Compare this bad boy. Okay, well, it's just a little bit bigger this way, it's a little bit deeper this way, and it's a little bit wider that way. Twice as big? Ish. So, anyway, that's Undaunted Reinforcements. I got the wrong box out. Okay, well, Undaunted Reinforcements is the same size as Undaunted Normandy. I'll tell you what, let me pause and go and get the right box. Okay, so there's the correct box I should be comparing it with, because sometimes I'm going to look at the contents in here and look at this one and say, yeah, well, is this better or worse? No idea, because I haven't looked inside what's in this box. I saw the review by Shut Up and Sit Down, who are actually, wargamers, and they seem to have a blast with it, but as I say, they didn't do a component review or anything like that. That's what I'm intending to do. So, all right. So that's the proper Normandy, not reinforcements. As you can see, yeah, it's minimum, sorry, just not the tail, or twice of what you get. So let's put that back there. Right. Stalingrad. Oh, I suppose it's a big box for a big battle. So yeah, this is done by Osprey Games, an English company, I believe. I don't know what the shareholders are, but yeah. Upgrade. This is also meant to be sort of a legacy component. In other words, it's got a campaign in it, and you're like taking things out and putting them back in and such forth. The actual components here. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. So there's 375 cards, 129 map tiles. Now, comparing that component-wise to this one, 108 cards, 18 map tiles. So that's a big difference in map tiles straight away. 204 tokens, 85 tokens, 4 booklets. It says scenario booklet, but there is actually a rule booklet in here as well. So there's 2 booklets in this one. There's 4 booklets in that one. 4 dice. 4 dice. I could have done with more dice. That's because I'm anal. I would have liked red dice for Russians and black dice or blue dice or grey dice for the Germans. But I'm assuming that they'll have the same Osprey D10s in there. Anywho, so let's zoom back out. And let's actually get a very safe knife to cut open a cellophane. I say I got this about 10 days ago now, and just not had the time to get to it. I mean, okay, yes, I've been shooting other videos, but I decided, oh, I want to do an unboxing of this, so I'll get to that tomorrow. And as the old saying is, tomorrow never comes. And then I thought, well, you know what, I will do it today because it's a Sunday. That's why I'm shooting this. If it's still a Sunday when I upload this, that is a different equation. So cellophane in the pocket. And there we put the box down. Okay. First of all, I do like the art. You know, focusing on the female sniper. Osprey have this diversity thing going on. How many female Russian snipers were that? We know they did serve. And again, we've got 2 Russians and a single German. And we have looks like a T-34 down here with some of the ruins and other cities. But the actual artwork itself, I find very attractive on the box. Let's see. Oh, right. Slides off quite easily. Let's put it to one side. Okay, so first off then is the booklets. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, and a rule booklet. So, map book. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. There we go, that's a maximum zoom out. Okay, ooh, still see me, cool. Right, so you've got a map book, German scenario book, Soviet scenario book, and then a rule book. Now, okay, why would you make that a different size? I mean, I find these actually quite nice at this size. And again, let's compare with Undaunted Normandy. So in there you get a scenario book and a rule book. 2 rather straight. And they're definitely understated, aren't they? But I actually quite like the plain covered books. But you get 2 in Normandy, you get 4, but 1 enlarged one. So what do you get in the map books? Well, as Jordan suggests, lots of maps. I should assume these are each of the scenarios. Okay. So you've got the map layouts. So again, the scenarios seem to be about the same size. I mean, how many are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Whereas you look at, again, the Normandy ones, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So map size, scenario-wise, look the same. When you compare the 2, though, that does pop a bit more because it's green. Well, that's great, but then this is an urban environment, is it? Oh, sorry, it's Stalingrad. What more do you expect? Interesting here is the little sub-map, and I think that's showing the area of Stalingrad the fight is over, which I find quite intriguing. So each scenario is on a particular part of Stalingrad, the overall map. So I'm assuming this all stays the same. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, so the map book, German scenario book. So this will be the forces for each of the scenarios, I assume. Gives looks like a synopsis. 109, 115, place scenario 143. Okay, there's your breakdown of forces. And again, that's what you were getting in, if you look again at one of the scenarios on here, you had the breakdown of what cards you would play for. Yes, this is a card game, but it does have hexes. You're saying, what? Hexes? Square, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares around it, that makes a hex. If you move into there or there or there, that is hex. So this is definitely a hex and counter game with cards. Or is it a card game with hex and counter? I'll leave it for you to decide. But anyway, you've got the breakdowns of the scenarios here in the scenario book with the forces and telling you, I'm assuming, what cards to use. I don't know, I'll have to see how this all fits together, but it's interesting. Whoa. You've got a campaign record, state and briefing oil. This looks like a completely different beast. So as I said, there is a campaign and a legacy part, as in you have cards and they come in and come out of your deck and such forth. But I don't know if you can play any of the scenarios individually, or if it's literally you start and then, you know, you start in the campaign. And I'm assuming the Soviet book, yeah, it's the same. Again, there's a lot of text here, and I presume a lot of this is flavour text, or to get you in the mood. But it's a lot of work, isn't it? And the actual breakdowns. Wow. Okay. And then the rule book. Right. Which, it's a shame it's not the same size. I mean, this is me being anal. Should I be using words like that? Don't know. That's me being OCD. I'd like it to have been the same size. Yeah, they could have made the text a bit smaller, I suppose. I mean, it's a nice book, don't get me wrong. Pictures are nice. Breakdown of the terrain looks very similar. We've got Fog of War cards. And again, if any of you have played any of these games, look, the basic build-up seems to be the same. You know, you've got the cards. Here you've got their initiative rating. The higher the initiatives, the faster. Initiative rating is used to determine who goes first in a turn. So like this guy's got initiative of 7. If you play this guy to determine the initiative, you will go before anyone who plays a 5, for example. In Normandy, as I say, I'm not sure if there is any major changes rules-wise. You got 4 cards, of which one of them you get to use to determine the initiative. And guaranteed the ones that have got the best initiative were the better cards. But it depends if you want to go first or you're prepared to let your opponent go first. Then you've got the typical what that card is, and then what his actions can do. So he can move and he can attack and he can control. Pretty much the same as the American rifleman I'm just going to show you the comparison in the rule book. Here he comes over at the top there. So I was going to zoom in on the actual card. There you go. So sort of similar layout: initiative, title, and move, attack, control, identical. And then you've got the and you've got an officer, squad leader doing this. These are actions that they can do. And looking at on here, it's zoom out now. It's similar, the actions. So the cardboard bits look similar as well. But I'm assuming the actual campaign part will be where it all goes different. But they're all put a nice big German word Achtung on it. Do not read any booklets, unseal any decks, punch any punch board, or move any components until you've read the assembly and storage guide on page 4. Well, that's not going to help an unboxing, is it? If you need to reset your game, you can find out how to do it on page 31. So, how do we do an unboxing if I'm not allowed to actually look at the components? We'll work around that issue. Okay, so at least it's a punch board. It's not sealed. So the Russian bits. Let me just zoom out a little bit more. Okay, yeah, you still see me. you've got your riflemen, scouts, gunners for your A squad, your B squad, engineers, C, partisans, okay. Slightly off cut, he's missing the top of his helmet. Yeah, I don't know if that's off cut or by design, but you know, if we punch this guy, I know, don't tell the people who wrote the rules. Does he miss not having the top of his head? I suppose not, but put him back now. Okay. Yeah, I suppose they've got. There's not a lot of information, but if they dropped down a little bit, you would have got the top of his head. Don't know. At the end of the day, I suppose it doesn't really affect the counter itself. So you've got Soviet counters. The Germans seem to have more. Okay, you've got different Panzer, Panzer 3, 4, Stug, and well, second Panzer 3. Okay. Yeah, this is 42. Panzer 3s were still frontline tanks, for the Germans anyway. But again, you've got your different riflemen and squads on there. You've got your control counters. So yeah, nothing amazingly different on there. All this is though. Well, this is the third counter sheet. You've got stars. Looks like, I assume by the looks of that looks to me like a sewer, which were quite prevalent at the time. Blank flag counters. Okay. Yeah. Good stock, quality card stock. Without a doubt. Okay. Let's zoom any further. There we go. This is nice. Counter tray. Lid. Okay, that's nice. Now, well, one of the biggest complaints with Osprey, and if they do watch this, I'm complaining about it, is the counter trays are lovely. Don't get me wrong on that regard. However, they only fit cards without sleeves. Now, the game that is going to be using a lot of cards and a lot of play, the cards need to be sleeved, especially if you're looking at deck handling thing. So they've got all these nice cards, but let me just show you what I've had to do with Normandy. I've had to remove it. There was a nice sleeve there, but I've had to remove it. The sleeve, the extra sleeve tray. There was a tray in Normandy, oh that's too big for that, which did fit all the counters nicely, but the cards only fitted if they were unsleeved. So you just leave the card, doesn't fit. And I sleeve my cards, because they get handled a lot. And I want the game to last, so I had to chuck it away. And I've done that with pretty much every Osprey game I've got. So I've got the 3 previous ones to this. Normandy, North Africa, Reinforcements. And I've got 2 other Osprey games, Imperium and Imperium Legends. And again, the sleeve, well, I haven't put sleeves on Imperium because the cards aren't played with as much. So I've kept the actual tray, but the tray will not accept sleeving. And I find, and Osprey is not the only company that's guilty of this. A lot are, and it's, to be frank, quite annoying. All right, so these are your terrain tiles. Now, obviously, they don't need to be sleeved, and there are a lot of them, aren't there? Are they in any sort of power plant? 704C, 703C. Okay, they're a bit grey. Again, you'd expect it, and a bit ruined. On good cardstock. Oh, there's no B side to it. That's interesting. On the, and again, I'm looking at Normandy. On their tiles, each one has an A side and a B side. So if I just get one of those out, you're looking at, tile 12A and 12B. So 18 tiles, same quality, 18 tiles, but 36. Yeah, I can do math. Different actual terrain effects. Okay. Yeah, I can multiply. But on these, it looks like they only have one playable side. So, okay, it's got a name on it, the Milk House. Okay. Tile 107A. Just pulled it out at random, so I better put it back again because it told me not to do that, didn't it? 106, so I assume this will be 108. No, 105. All right, so we know it's counting upwards, but there we go. So a lot of information on the tiles. It's telling me, obviously, by the looks of that. I'll zoom in on that. No tanks going that. What the 8 is, no idea. Two different terrain defense values, 3 and 1. So I'll discover that as I start playing it. But yeah. So the cards. Locked deck. Do not open until instructed. Okay. I won't open it, but we know there's a locked deck. Upgrade deck. Do not open until instructed. So you've got locked and okay. And what have we got in this one? Platoon Sergeant. Again, the artwork is nice. So let me just pause. Actually, I'm not going to pause. I'll just open this while I'm yakking away. Because if I pause, it means I've got to do a link on the video and then a join, and it just makes it. So it didn't say I can't open this one, so I'm opening this one. And then you've got the sticky plastic. It does annoy me, but there we go. Right, so this looks like your Germans. I don't know, maybe the grey uniforms get away. So let me just zoom out again. Right. Okay, so you've got Platoon Sergeant, Squad Leader A, and it looks like it's got similar skills. Bolster, which allows you to draw more cards out of your build deck. Command allows you to get more cards into your hand for that particular turn. So, and it tells you that, because there's no, this one here has got A, allows you to bolster from Squad A, and inspire Squad A. Your Platoon Sergeant can do any of the squads. Squad Leader B, Rifleman A. Okay. And yeah, the artwork's quite nice. I wouldn't say it's vastly different from Normandy. Okay, yeah, quite happy with that. Your Fog of Wars. Okay, I quite like that. Fog of Wars are things basically rubbish that you got to unfortunately put in your hand. Oh, they've got slightly different pictures on them. Is it? Okay, that's nice. So I was allowed to look at that. I've looked at it. But again, will that accept anything? A card sleeve. Ooh, have I spoken too soon? Maybe. I'll have to try that. I'll tell you what. Why don't I take one from a deck I prepared earlier and see if it will actually fit in there. So this is from Normandy. Will that fit? Oh, my God, I did speak too early. They fit with a sleeve. Would you believe it? They actually listened. Okay, let's take that out. Let's put that in there. Okay, it fits this way. Will it fit this way? Because obviously with the sleeve makes the card thicker. That's quite a thick, but there's a whole space here. So that's maybe how it all fits together. Don't know, we shall see. Okay, so if it does all fit together like that, I spoke too early and I do apologise to Osprey. It seems like you have listened. What's in this little packet? Whoops. You've got reserve deck. Do not open until instructed. Reserve deck, Soviet one. So you've got the same for the Soviets. Okay. So that's about it, really. So that's it. These are individually removable, so the German can have his on his side. So therefore, I'm assuming, well, don't assume anything. The 4 dice, as I said, I'd like to have red dice and for the I keep going to call them Russians this time. They are Russians, aren't they? And Soviets, but yeah, they fit nice. That's quite heavy. I do like the way they've laid these out. I'm not sure how fascinating it is. It's all grey, but when you look at the artwork, it does look like what I imagine a ruined city would be, and Stalingrad was a ruined city. So let's put that back. Okay, that fits. So I could get different coloured dice. I see there's space for 2 sets of dice. There's 2 dice. Oh, yeah, there's only 2 dice. So where's the other 2? That's interesting, yeah. It said 4 dice, didn't it? There were 2 dice there. Oh, they're falling into here. Because, there we go. Sometimes you need to roll 3 or 4 dice, especially if you're attacking with mortars or you're suppressing with machine guns. So I will need to get more dice of the appropriate colours, of course. Why? Because that's the way I rumble. Anyway, that's what's in the box. Let's come back to me. I have to apologise. It looks like they've thought this out a little bit better than my Normandy experience, or the experience in the past, and have created enough for sleeve cards. I do like to look after my games, and I know from the Normandy, after one play, I felt the need to sleeve the cards. So, and I did so. And I'm still working my way through Normandy. I won't be playing this bad boy for a while. I would like to play it opposed, and I have been playing the game opposed Normandy with my brother. Will we do Normandy, North Africa, reinforcements, and then Stalingrad? Don't know. We might do interspersed different ones of the series you've got so far. I know there's a Battle of Britain one. I don't know if I want to go for aeroplanes and such forth, and I know they're making more in the series. Overall, very impressed with the quality of the components, especially the trays that they're actually, I can keep the trays in there. Am I disappointed about anything? Maybe just the rule book, it being the different size to the other 3 rule books, but that's just me being me. There's not many counters. Then again, it's not a counter-intensive game anyway. Good quality card stock. Yeah, I'm packing this all back out as I yak. So enough to read. I do look like as I say, I don't know if you can play the scenarios individually. Find out. But I like the idea that this is a campaign in it, and the consequences of what you do in the previous scenario will have consequences of moving on. Also like to remember on that rule book, you can't open this, you can't open that, and such forth. Well, we've opened one deck and had a quick look. And I did like to say there is a reset, so you can play the campaign multiple times. Will it have a different story? It sort of looks like in these books that you've got the old programmed story. So you do paragraph A and then it says play this scenario, and then it looks like you then have to do, if you win the scenario, you move on to a different scenario. So therefore you could be, these books you only might play half of the actual setups in there. So there is a replay value to the game, which I do like. I mean, any game's got replay value. So even Normandy, you could do the scenarios multiple times, and depending obviously on the order, the way the cards come out and such forth, it will be a different game. But it will have the same victory conditions and background and such forth. With this one, it looks like you might do scenario 1 or A or 1A or whatever, and then do scenario 1B, but then you lost, so you don't do 1C, you actually do 3D or something like that. And then you've missed 2, 3, and so on. Don't know until I actually start playing. And that's where I come to you guys. Do you want me to see me play this? As I say, if I do play it with my brother, who I've been playing Normandy with, we play it obviously live and such forth. If you guys want to see me play this, I could maybe find a vassal opponent as well. So I'm actually playing it twice. You know, with my brother face to face. I don't think, I haven't asked him yet, but playing it live with my brother on the video, I don't think that's something he's comfortable with, but I could ask him. But I need it from you guys. If it's something you want to see, let me know. You know, in that little comment section. And I'll now do the actual spin, the sale. Please hit the like, because it's through the likes that I know if you actually like what I'm doing. Any comments, obviously much appreciated. And if you do say, yes, we'd like to see live play of it, let me know. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It all helps the channels. And it lets other people know out there that some sado in Kent is playing these kind of games. So until next time, bye internet.